You won't believe the wild secrets swimming beneath the surface of China's Yangtze River Basin, a world older than many of the civilizations that settled its shores. Imagine, if you will, an ecosystem so ancient it's been evolving for 40 million years, yet so fragile that some of its species now exist only as ghosts in legend. The Yangtze isn't just a river. It's a moving story of survival, mystery, and, well, heartbreaking beauty. It starts with the Baiji dolphin, once called the goddess of the Yangtze. Locals believe she carried the spirit of a drowned maiden, protecting fishermen who treated the river with respect. For thousands of years, she guided them home through the mist. But then, the goddess went silent. In 2007, scientists declared her functionally extinct. No sightings, no sonar echoes, just silence. The story of the Baiji isn't just about loss, it's a warning. Because when the goddess disappears, so do the secrets she guards. Take the Chinese paddlefish. A creature so huge it could grow longer than a grown man is tall, slicing through muddy waters with its sword-like snout. For centuries, fishermen told tales of the water dragon they'd only glimpsed during floods. But after years of dam construction and overfishing, the last of these giants vanished. Declared extinct in 2020, the paddlefish didn't go out with a roar, but with a whisper. It reminds us that extinction doesn't always happen in faraway lands. Sometimes it happens right beneath the bridges we drive across. But the Yangtze isn't all tragedy. Not yet. Dive deeper and you'll meet survivors who've defied every odd. The Chinese alligator, for instance, once widespread, now clinging to a few pockets of muddy refuge. It's small compared to its American cousin, but it has one thing the others don't: a legend. Locals say the thunder god himself carved the alligator's scales as armor. During droughts, farmers would hear its calls echo like drums, and they'd know the rains were coming. Today, a few hundred remain in protected reserves, and every hatchling is a promise that this ancient guardian might still outlast us. Now, picture a creature that looks like a living fossil, the Yangtze Sturgeon. Its armored body really hasn't changed since the days of the dinosaurs, and it swims upstream each spring just as it has for 140 million years. Except now, the path is blocked. Dams and pollution have, well, turned migration into an obstacle course. Scientists are racing to breed them in captivity, releasing juveniles into the wild like tiny time travelers trying to rewrite the river's future. And then there's the Chinese giant salamander, the largest amphibian on Earth, growing as long as a man's arm span. Locals once believed their eerie cries were the voices of ghosts calling from the riverbanks. But, you know, those haunting sounds have grown fainter as their homes are drained and sold for exotic meat. A few sanctuaries are trying to bring them back, but the question remains: can a ghost be revived? The Yangtze Finless porpoise, a cousin of the vanished Baiji, might just be the river's last hope. Unlike its extinct relative, this porpoise still smiles when it surfaces, rolling like silver coins in the morning light. It's known as the river clown for its playful nature, but behind that grin lies a fight for survival. Conservationists now call it the new ambassador of the Yangtze, a living reminder that not all stories here end in loss. In the murky shallows, another ancient resident hides, the Reeves shad. Once a prized delicacy during the Qing dynasty, this fish could only be caught during its spring migration, when the river seemed to shimmer with silver. But after dams disrupted its breeding routes, the Shade's great return turned into an empty promise. Some biologists still release fry each year, hoping that one spring the river will glitter again. The Siberian crane's journey adds another layer to this tale. Every winter, thousands of these elegant white birds migrate to the Yangtze's wetlands, their final stop before returning north. They depend entirely on the lake's shallow waters, which are shrinking faster than ever. If the wetlands go, so do the cranes. Watching them glide over the water feels like witnessing living poetry, a reminder that what vanishes from one ecosystem ripples through another. There's also the Yangtze giant softshell turtle, possibly the rarest turtle on Earth. Only a handful have ever been seen alive. Conservationists once held their breath as the last known female laid eggs in captivity. None hatched. The heartbreak made global headlines, but scientists refused to give up. Somewhere, they hope, another female remains, hidden in some forgotten pond. It's a hope measured in whispers and sonar scans, and maybe that's enough. Finally, the finless carp, an unassuming fish that thrives in the Yangtze's backwaters, represents resilience. It's not the largest or the most famous, but it's a survivor. As pollution chokes the water and invasive species move in, this humble carp adapts, evolving quietly while others fade. In the grand story of the Yangtze, it's the everyday character who endures, the small life that carries the legacy forward. These 10 species together tell one sweeping story of gods and ghosts, survival and silence. The Yangtze River Basin isn't just home to biodiversity, it's a living chronicle of our relationship with nature. Each species lost takes a piece of that story with it. But every rescued one, every porpoise, every young sturgeon, every patch of wetland restored, is like finding a lost page again. So maybe the question isn't how many species remain, but how many stories we're still willing to save. Because when you protect the creatures of the Yangtze, you're not just saving fish, birds and reptiles, you're preserving one of Earth's oldest conversations between water and life itself.